Hey everyone, RazorMiddle here, and today I'm going to be running through my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. Now this video was requested by people on my community tab when I did a poll, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of run through this thing. I don't know, I'm going unscripted and I'm doing this all on the Y. On the Y? Yeah, you can tell this is unscripted because I don't even know what that means. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share, and all that fun stuff. Now without further ado, let's get into my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Number 10, Delphox. So at number 10, I have a really unpopular Pokemon, and I have no idea why it's hated so much. I guess people say it has like earwax, and it has like weird ears, and I guess they wanted it to look like something else because Fennekin was so cute, but I love this thing so much. Now Delphox has one of the most unique type combinations out of all the Pokemon in this series. I have to say, Fire Psychic is just an amazing type together. I kind of trained one on the side and never really used it as like a main Pokemon when I played through X and Y, but I traded it over my Alpha Sapphire playthrough when I was doing it, and I kind of needed a 6th Pokemon on the team, and I didn't really have a Fire type Pokemon, so I kind of just used that. And let me just tell you, this thing was a powerhouse. I don't know what it was with my Pokemon that just made it so tough in battle. Everyone keeps saying that Delphox sucks, and I just gotta tell you, this thing rocks. So I'm gonna look past its weird earwax, because I guess that is kind of a weird design on it, but you know what, I think it's cool, and that's what matters. Number 9, Dustox. So you'll see a lot of Pokemon in this list have to do with the Pokemon anime, and that's for a reason. I love the Pokemon anime, and when I really got back into it, I watched it as a kid, like the Indigo League back in the early 2000s, but I got really into it in the Battle Frontier series back in 2006, and this is when I started to fall in love with Pokemon all over again. For me, Dustox was such a cool Pokemon because Jessie had one, and I know Team Rocket's Pokemon aren't always the strongest, but I just thought Dustox's design was so cool, and then when Jessie released it, it was the saddest thing ever. I think it's cool that it has like an evolution chain where it can evolve into either Butterfly. I don't even know the name of the Pokemon it evolves into. And Dustox. And so, I remember Dustox, I don't care about the other one, but Dustox is super cool. Number 8, Electivire. I love Electivire and its entire evolution line. I thought that when Gary Oak threw this thing out into the Pokemon battle and Ash was super shook about it, I was like so hyped for Generation 4 to come out, because I was like, oh my god, all these new Pokemon in Electivire, is that based off Elekid? And it was. And then we got more evolutions just like that of past Pokemon, and that's what I really love about Pokemon. I really wish they would do that again. I like Mega Evolutions, but past evolutions, like getting a new evolution, I think that's cool, and I really want to see more of that in Generation 8, but that's another video. Number 7, Floatzel. So next up I have Floatzel, and for this Pokemon I have to say, it was a powerhouse on my team when I used it in the Pokemon World Tournament and Pokemon Black and White 2, and I don't know why, but I love its design. I love the little life jacket thing it's got going on. I don't know what that's all about, and then it's a super fast Pokemon. This thing was super fast. I think my Pokemon, its base speed stat was like 325 or something crazy, and it would always outspeed all the opponents in the Pokemon World Tournament, and its special attack on my thing was really good. I kind of like trained it up. That's like one of the first Pokemon that I like trained its stats to a certain way. Is that Eevee or Ivy training? I don't know. But I did it for that, and Floatzel just kept demolishing. One of my proudest moments was actually beating through the Kanto Elite Four. Not the Kanto Elite Four, the Kanto Gym Leaders in the Pokemon World Tournament. I had such a struggle with them, and I'm not a competitive battler, and I don't pretend to be, so when I actually defeated the Kanto World Tournament, I was so hyped, and it all was because of Floatzel. Number 6, Frostlast. So up next I got Frostlast, and I just gotta tell you, I love this thing and its type combination. Ice, and Ghost are just an amazing type combination together. I really love it. And I never used it, even though I really liked it, until Alpha Sapphire. And yeah, it was super cool. But I have an embarrassing story. So I did not know about its gender having a determining factor on what it evolves into. So this entire game, I trained up Snorunt and then it evolved into Glalie. And yeah, so then I was already at the Elite Four. So I had to go back, and I really wanted to use Frostlast because I knew Drake was going to be a super hard challenge. So I had it really under-leveled, but I was able to get it, and I already used the Dust Stone or Dawnstone, whatever you use, on Glade. So I had to super train for this, like an extra one, since it was like a gift you could get, like a rare gift. And I got it and I evolved it and it came in clutch. So it's always going to be a favorite of mine because of that. Number 5, Leafblade. So at number 5 I have Leafblade, and let me just tell you, I never see this Pokemon on any top 10 lists or any Pokemon video. I guess it's not really a popular Pokemon, and it's not like a hated Pokemon, but it's just meh to people, if that makes sense. But to me, I love it. Leafblade has always been one of my favorite moves that you could use, and when I found out Leafblade could learn it, I immediately put it on Leafblade. And this thing kept slicing and dicing and slicing and dicing until my competition fell to the ground. Leafblade was always like a powerhouse on my team for some reason, and I guess I overtrained it a little, so maybe that's why. But nonetheless, Leafblade is super cool, and I will always love it. And then, can we just mention that in the Pokemon anime, it has like a really weird sounding cry? Yeah. Number 4, Gliscor. So at number 4, I have Gliscor, and let me just tell you, for Gliscor, I love this thing. I have actually never ever used one, and I don't know why, because I love it so much, but I loved it in the anime when Ash had one. I remember the episode, I was actually watching it, like Saturday morning cartoons, when he caught a Gligar, and then I watched it evolve into Gliscor, and I was so crazy hyped. I did not know what this Pokemon was. I was so crazy hyped. I already said that, but yeah, I love this thing. And let me just tell you, I got a random shiny one time during, like, I just did a Pokemon GTS on the 3DS, and I got a random shiny from someone. So whoever sent me that, thank you, but I've never trained one. But so hopefully one day I will train one. I definitely have it on my list of Pokemon I want to use that I've never done before, and maybe I can use one in Generation 8? Maybe? Number 3, Swellow. So coming in clutch at number 3, I have Swellow, and I love this thing from the Pokemon anime. Everything from its cry, to its design, to Ash using it, to it coming in clutch in battles. And then I have to quote or cite my favorite battle, one of my favorite battles from the Pokemon anime, which comes from the Battle Frontier anime, no surprise. And it's when Ash uses Swellow and Corphish against Tucker in the Battle Dome, and they do this like super cool spinny thing with like Ice Beam and Flamethrower, and they win. That's what you need to know. They win, and it's so cool. And then there's also another battle in the anime that I like when Ash uses Thunderbolt on Swellow and turns it into like a golden armor thing, which logically doesn't make any sense, but you know what? I'm gonna look past it because it was super cool to me, and I love it. So, yeah. Number 2, Donphan. So at number 2, I have Donphan, and I gotta go back and go to the Battle Frontier anime for this one because I loved it. I fell in love with it here. And I really wish Ash would take Pokemon that he never really used before, even though he owned them, and go back and bring them on another adventure to train them up and make them stronger, because this one is a prime example of what happens when you do that. Donphan was a beast. It had so many good battles, and I think he brought it back for the Sinnoh League, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a powerhouse, like I said. So, coupled with the fact that I love elephants, and it's got like tusks or whatever, like a woolly mammoth kind of like elephant type thing. I love this thing. It will always be one of my favorites, and that's why it's number 2. Number 1, Sceptile. So at number 1, I have Sceptile, and Sceptile will always, forever be my number 1 favorite Pokemon because it was my first final stage evolution Pokemon, and my first starter Pokemon basically, from Pokemon Sapphire way back in the day on the Game Boy Advance. I got a Trico, and I really liked it, and I evolved it into Grovyle, and I loved Grovyle so much. And then I don't know why, but when I evolved to Grovyle into Sceptile, I hated Sceptile originally, and I immediately turned off my game because I didn't want it to happen. But one day I sucked it up and I actually let Grovyle evolve, and I don't regret it because Sceptile has come in clutch in so many battles. I still have it back in Generation 3 games. I don't want to move it up to my other games. I like holding it there, especially if I ever want to go back and play through the games. I know I have a good battler with me, and like it can carry through the Elite Four, and I can do the Battle Frontier with it in Emerald and all that fun stuff. And also, Ash had one in the anime, and I loved his Grovyle in the anime, and his Sceptile coming in clutch, defeating Latios, or Latios, whatever, which one, in the Sinnoh League, and he's the only Pokemon that, like, Ash got to defeat. Oh wait, no, he defeated Darkrai. I'm a disaster. Played with it in Alpha Sapphire, the remakes, and the original Sapphire, and I've always, like, loved it, I guess, and then I've traded it over sometimes and done it in like Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, just so I could use it more and like run through a region with it, and it will always be my favorite, no matter what. Nothing will change it. There could be the coolest Pokemon in the world, and it will never change, because this was my first Pokemon, and it means a lot to me. Trico evolving all the way to Sceptile, and now I have Sceptile forever at a level 100. Oh yeah, it was my first Pokemon to get to level 100. So that's a fun fact. But I will always love it, and that's why it will always be my number one. So let me know, who are your top 10 favorite Pokemon? Who are your favorite Pokemon? Who's your all-time favorite Pokemon? Leave a comment below, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I make videos on this channel fairly regularly. I post shiny reactions because I am a shiny hunter. I do stream a lot. I stream on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I just switched over to Twitch, where I am streaming on Twitch now and YouTube. So I'm doing both, and it's really fun. You should check it out. Check the times on my channel. Go to my community tab. I have a post where it says like what times I stream and stuff, so you can check it out. But yeah, that'll be it. Bye.